On a breezy and cool Thursday afternoon, welcome to the day up of the doubleheader today. A crucial doubleheader between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves. Hello, everybody. Jordan Palacio here alongside Sam Wiederhaft, and the Braves and Hyannis playing today in a battle for that fourth spot, and a big doubleheader that really can determine the season for both teams today. Sam, let's talk specifically about game one, this day cap. What does a win for the Braves do specifically for them in this season?
Well, they haven't won a game one in any of their three previous doubleheaders. They've been outscored 23-6 in the first game of their three doubleheaders. So a win in game one would not only give them some more ground on Hyannis and lower that magic number down, but it would also give them a little bit more confidence. They have one more doubleheader left in this season against Falmouth. They haven't been performing so great in the first game of the doubleheader. It's mainly been the pitching that's been the problem. So you got Harrison Rakowski, the Braves ace, on the mound. I like the Braves' chances in game one.
Now, despite being the worst team in the season, Sam, the Harbor Hawks are 3-1 against the Braves this season, including a doubleheader sweep against them earlier at McKeon Park. Now, the Braves did win the last game, but why in the world is Hyannis so successful against the Braves?
Well, they've been able to hit. In those three games they won, they scored 23 combined runs, including that 13-8 win they had in game two of the doubleheader a few weeks ago. They've been able to find contact against the Braves pitchers, and this offense for Hyannis gets a little overlooked. I mean, it's not as bad. The pitching is really what holds them down. But Hyannis has Hunter Goodman, who right now leads the league in RBI. He's got a high 200 average. He's a solid player, and they have a lot of guys like that in their lineup. So it's really their offense getting overlooked, but they've been able to really figure out the Braves pitching staff.
Yeah, they've scored 137 runs this season compared to the Braves last place mark at 118 runs. Now, a doubleheader between these two teams, like we've mentioned. Who does exactly that favor? Because you can get a lot of interesting matchups, a lot of players being used. Who, in your mind, does a doubleheader favor?
Well, I think in this instance, with the Braves being home, I think it favors the Braves just because they're back at Doran Park. This is only the second doubleheader that the Braves have played here. The first one was back in the very first weekend of the year against Orleans, where they grabbed 1 of 2 against the Firebirds. So I think it favors the Braves. They spend a lot of time here, but they're at their home park. This is where they're used to playing. They're 8-8 at home, which is a lot better than their away record. So I think it favors the Braves, and I'm excited to see what tonight brings.
Yeah, 8-8 on the year, 8 out of their 13 wins. The mound meeting going on right now, and we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first pitch from today's day cap of the Bourne Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We'll be right back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Welcome back to Doran Park for some Bourne Braves baseball here on Thursday, July 25th. Jordan Palazzo here alongside Sam Wiederhalf. Let's go over the starting nine for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Jordan Westberg leads things off for them at shortstop. Ian Fair follows suit at first base. Hunter Goodman in the 3 spot in right field. Trevor Hover cleans things up from left field. Brooks Carlson batting 5th, DHing. Chad McDaniel catching tonight for the Harbor Hawks. He's followed by Lucas Dunn, who's just rejoined this team after spending some time with Team USA at second base. Jackson Olsen at third, and Bryce Teodosio rounds things out in center field for the 7-26-1 Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and they'll be going up against some pretty tough competition on the mound. It's the ace, Sam, Harrison Rakowski.
Harrison Rakowski starting his 7th game for the Braves, has a low 2.17 ERA, a 2-2 record on the year. He's pitched 29 innings, allowed 29 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them being earned, 17 strikeouts, and 5 walks. His last game was actually the All-Star game on Sunday, where he threw 1-2-3, no hit, no run inning. His last game for the Braves, however, was against YD, where he went 5 innings. A tough start for him. 6 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. So the Braves pitcher looking for a bounce-back performance against Hyannis.
And defensively, the Braves line up with Rakowski on the mound. Brennan Rivoli makes his 2nd start of the year behind the plate catching. Cade Beloso at first. Cody Morissette at second. Jimmy Glowanke at short. Xavier Warren at third. Jake McKenzie in left. Judge Fabian in center. And Kyler Fedko in right. Remember, 2 7-inning games today as Jordan Westberg is getting set to step in. Our umpires are Mark Delaney at home, Jason Klump at first, and Dave Viveros over at third base. Jordan Westberg out of Mississippi State, batting .365. First pitch from Rakowski is in the zone for strike 1. First pitch at 4:02 p.m., and we are underway. The 0-1 now from Rakowski to Westberg, fouled straight back into the screen. He falls behind 0-2.
Westberg's a guy that's only played 15 games, but has made an immediate impact for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. .365 average. And remember the doubleheader against the Braves. He came off a 2-home-run game against Katu, and that was the first game he ever played in this league.
0-2 is fastball that misses high. Westberg does not offer at it. Last time Westberg played was back on the 22nd, 3 days ago. He went 2 for 4 in the loss against Orleans. The 1-2 is popped up foul over the first base dugout. Chad Gassman coaching for Hyannis, and of course Harvard Shapiro in another season with the Braves. It's weird that Gassman's been in this league for 11 years, but he still seems so young comparatively to all the other tenured coaches. 1-2 fastball up high, and it's the first batter and first strikeouts for Harrison Rakowski.
Ever since that doubleheader against the Braves, where Westberg hit a home run in the second game, had 2 doubles, went 3 for 3 in that one, the Braves have been able to figure him out. When he visited Doran Park on July 10th, he went 0 for 5 with a strikeout, and Rakowski starts him off the way that he wants with a first out strikeout.
Here's Ian Fair now. He fouls his first pitch off over the first base dugout. Fair himself having a great season, hitting .404 for Hyannis. Has not played a ton himself. He's only played in 16 games. He's out of Northeastern University as the 0-1 fastball that just misses down and in. A ball and a strike now. Fair in the last game against against Orleans at Hyannis at McKeon Park. He went 0 for 4. 1-1 misses downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike now to the first baseman.
And that actually broke a 9-game hitting streak that started right here on July 10th against the Braves, where he went 3 for 3.
2-1 pitch, fouled on the right side again. Once again, over that first base dugout. A lot of souvenirs landing over there. 2-2 now the count to Ian Fair. Harrison Rakowski picked up his 18th strikeout just in that last batter, looking for number 19. Here's the 2-2. Fastball sailing way up high. Count will fill up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kowski not. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, no, Fair on this season. Played 16 games. He's only been held hitless 3 times.
Payoff pitch, and he'll get his first hit here. A line drive into the right center field gap. Fedko can't track it. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Fair cruises past second base. He's looking for 3. Here comes a relay throw from Cody Morissette in shallow right, and with the head first slide, Ian Fair has a 1-out triple. that almost could have been limited to a single, but Fedko could not cut it down.
He shows why he's been dangerous all year. That's actually his first triple of the entire season and just his 5th extra base hit, but fair. Took it opposite field to right center field. Fedko didn't really take the best angle at it. It rolled all the way to the wall, and he said, hey, why not go for 3? And he was in there easily. That's a big triple for Ian Fair with only 1 out in the inning.
How about the speed from the first baseman getting around the bases? And now here's a very tough out to get in Hunter Goodman in right field today. He's an all-star for this Hyannis team. He looks at a first pitch that misses upstairs for ball 1. 6 home runs on the year for Hunter Goodman, a .283 average, 31 RBIs, and he's got number 32 sitting on third base. The 1-0 to Goodman, swung on and missed on the off-speed, had him out in front. A ball and a strike now to today's right fielder.
Yeah, Hunter Goodman is the big force of this Harbor Hawk lineup, leads the league with 31 RBIs. Next closest is Nick Gonzalez. He only has 27, so he's got a pretty comfortable league on that league-leading number.
3-run home run against the Braves back during that doubleheader. 1-1 now. Another good pitch from Rakowski. Swung on and missed by Goodman, and he falls behind here 1-2, and a strikeout here for Rakowski would do a lot of good. Get that second out and keep that runner at third base.
Takes away the sacrifice fly as well, which has burned the Braves before.
Rakowski comes set, hands meet above the belt. 1-2, swung on and missed, and there's the second strikeout from Harrison Rakowski. He gets Goodman to go down on the high stuff.
You take the biggest factor out of this Harbor Hawks lineup in his best situations. League leader in RBI, has a run just 90 feet away, and he can't bring it home. Goes down swinging on the high stuff from Harrison Rakowski for the second out. That's big for the confidence, takes away the sacrifice fly. Now you got 2 outs and the cleanup hitter up in Hoover.
Yeah, Trevor Hoover stepping in. First lefty we've seen, and it's he looks at a first pitch strike on the outside corner. A fastball from Rakowski. Hoover batting .235 so far for Hyannis this season. This is 0-1 now. It's taken right down the middle for strike 2. You'd imagine he's probably was expecting something else, but here Rakowski's got a huge 0-2 lead.
Yeah, going back to Hunter Goodman, he leads the league in RBIs, but he's also 4th in the league in strikeouts. That's his 36th on the year. That number's running a little high.
The 0-2 to Hoover. Waste pitch, fastball that misses upstairs. Same pitch that got both Westberg and Goodman to go down. Hoover lays off. Ball and 2 strikes. Very disciplined up at the plate. He drew a lot of walks. Did Hoover for Arizona State this past spring. Rakowski steps off, and we'll get the sign once again from catcher Brendan Rivoli, only making his 2nd start of the year. It's been a carousel at catcher for the Braves this season. 1-2 is off the glove of Rivoli to the backstop, and here comes Ian Fair. He scores off the passed ball, and without even needing to get a hit, the Harbor Hawks drive in their first run thanks to a misplaced pitch there from Rakowski.
Well, that just might be a case of Rivoli not catching in a while. You mentioned he's only started 1 game, and that was a high pitch from Rakowski that was catchable. It just got past him.
2-2 is a line drive out to left. Jake McKenzie has no choice but to play it off of a hop. Trevor Hoover has his first hit of the game, and this inning rolls on. It's a 2-out single for the cleanup man.
Well, so the run was going to come in anyway. It would have come in on that single from Hoover, but now you put a runner on with Carlson coming up, and that's just been the problem in these first games of the doubleheader. The Braves have played 3 previous doubleheaders before this, and they've lost every single game 1. They've been outscored 23-6, and the runs coming home have been the story.
The first pitch to the new man, Brooks Carlson, flown out into right field. Kyler Fedko is in pursuit. He's right on the foul line, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But for the 5th consecutive game now, Sam, a run has come in to score in the first inning. Off of 1 hit, the Harbor Hawks get 1 run. They leave 1 on base as well. We'll head to the bottom of the first. We'll meet the Braves lineup when we come back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Welcome back to Doran Park. The Braves already find themselves in a hole here. The Harbor Hawks score 1 in the top of the first inning. Remember, it's only a 7-inning game today in this first game, and the following game also 7 innings, about 45 minutes after the first game. Let's go over the starting 9 for the Braves here in the day cap game. The Braves are led off by Cody Morissette at second base. He's followed by Xavier Warren. And at third, Judd Fabian batting third. In center field, Jimmy Glowinski cleaning things up. Now at shortstop, Jared Poland, who's become an everyday designated hitter, has that same spot in the 5-hole. Jake McKenzie playing left, batting sixth. Cade Beloso at first base, batting seventh. Kyler Fedko in right field, who just made that catch, is batting eighth. And rounding out the starting 9 is the catcher, Brennan Rivoli. And the Braves will be going up a pitcher looking to get his first win of the year here in Connor Ash.
That's been the big thing for Hyannis, has been the struggles on pitching. But Connor Ash starts this game. He's a rising junior from the University of Missouri, a right-handed pitcher standing at 6'0", 194 pounds, and 0-2 record on the year, 6.04 ERA. He's pitched in 8 games, but only started in 3 of them. 22 and a third innings pitched on the year, 36 strikeouts, 14 walks, 24 hits. He actually pitched against the Braves in relief on July 6th in that 13-8 win for Hyannis. He went 1 1/3, allowed 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So the Braves got to him before. They're looking to do it again.
Here's Cody Morissette now, who's going to look at a first pitch that misses the zone for ball 1. He's slumped a little bit. He's batting .253 right now for the Braves. His average was as high as 305 earlier in the season. Here's the 1-0. A little floater in the center field. Teodosio is in pursuit. He dives. He can't make the catch. Morissette will advance to second off the dive, and he's in with the slide. So how do you make up for that 1 run? You lead things off with a double like Cody Morissette does.
And Morissette took advantage. That was great base running by Cody Morissette. Bryce Teodosio fell for it, but he just kind of lagged over in shallow center field and kind of just waited along. Morissette saw that, saw an opportunity to get to second, and he gets there for the first hit of the game for the Braves.
The Braves will take that, and now here comes the RBI leader for this team, and Xavier Warren, hitting .263 on the year. Tying run sitting at second base, and be big for the Braves to already make that 1 run up. Ash, the righty, kicks and fires, breaking ball that misses high for ball 1. 18 RBIs here for Xavier Warren so far on the year. And that 2-2 tie against Katuitz went 0 for 4, a couple strikeouts in there as well. 1-0 falls down in. 2-0 now the count, and Chad McDaniel, the catcher, is going to go call time and talk to his pitcher. Well, the pitching has been an issue here for Hyannis this season. They've given up 238 runs. That is worst in the league, and by quite a margin as well. Their run differential, Sam, at -101.
And that's also 7 runs a game as well. But the Braves just have them out, which has been so weird. The Braves have 2 of their best games against Falmouth, who's the hottest team in the league right now, and some of their worst games against the Harbor Hawks.
Here's a 2-0 now to Warren. Fastball that misses way up and out. And now the count to the third baseman sits at 3 balls and no strikes.
And Cody Morissette over on second has come up big for the Braves in the past 2 games. He had that double in the top of the 8th inning against the Cavaliers that ended up tying the game. Instead of giving the Braves a loss, they got 1 point for a tie.
3-0 to Warren as a fastball that finds a zone. Ash settles in, hits the strike zone, and the count now at 3-1. Warren is going to be looking for an RBI here. His last RBI was back on July 17th in that rain-shortened game against YD. 3-1 is a blooper into very shallow center field. Jordan Westberg is under at the shortstop, and he collects it for out number 1 while backpedaling.
Warren got a little bit under that ball. The wind carried it a little bit. It wasn't an easy out for Jordan Westberg at short, but he was able to travel to shallow left field and make the out. Xavier Warren, you mentioned he hasn't had an RBI since the 17th, but somehow he's been leading this team in RBIs ever since the 3rd game of the year when he had a 3 RBI game against Falmouth.
Now here's Judd Fabian now stepping in, batting .302. And he's not far behind Warren in the RBI category. He looks at a first pitch off speed, and that misses the zone. Fabian is swinging a new bat, and he actually broke his bat, that Tan Marucci bat, in batting practice earlier today. Split it right in half, so he's got a new piece of lumber here. One of the Axis bats provided to by the league. Fair kicks and fires the 1-0 off speed. That one's in the zone. And the count evens now to the center fielder.
Yeah, you hope that new bat has as much pop as the old one did. 5 home runs for him. That's tied for 4th place in the league.
And he went 1 for 3 in the game against Katuitt a couple nights ago. He doubled his first at bat, and he's also got a walk and a strikeout in there as well. Pops the 1-1 pitch foul over our heads and out of play. And now he's fallen behind 1-2, and that's the only thing I think Judd Fabian really has left to figure out is his strikeout numbers.
Yeah, they run high. He's got 7 multi-strikeout games with a couple of 3 strikeout games sprinkled in there, but if he can figure out how to be disciplined at the plate, Judd Fabian's going to be a fantastic player.
Here's the 1-2. It's a fastball that misses high. Classic waste pitch right there. The count evens now to 2-2. And Judd Fabian, for this team, 5 home runs, and he's got one of them against the Harbor Hawks. Ash comes set, hands meet at the belt. Stares into his catcher, decides to step off, and he'll reset himself here against Fabian. Count 2-2, 1-0 score. Hyannis over the Braves. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Cody Morissette led things off with a double that was hit into shallow center field. Took advantage of a diving Bryce Teodosio. 2-2 is swung on and missed on the off speed. Fabian goes down on strikes, and now the Braves have a runner on second base with 2 outs.
Well, this is something that's happened too often for the Braves this season. It's one of their major setbacks, is getting runners on base to start the innings and then not bringing them in. And Judd Fabian goes down with another strikeout, make that 27 for him on the year. And I think that strikeout and plate discipline problem just comes down to maturing. He's only 18 years old, one of the youngest players in this league. The more reps he gets, the better he's going to be at that. But he leaves a runner stranded over at second now.
First pitch to the shortstop. Jimmy Glowenke is in there for a strike, and he's been the hottest hitter right now for the Braves. He's hitting .284 on the year. As a 6-game hit streak coming into the first game of our doubleheader here today. It's Connor Ash takes a look at Morissette at second, now fires the 0-1. It's in the dirt, and it skips by the catcher McDaniel, but Morissette stays at second base, rather safe than sorry. It's in the dirt for a ball. Count now 1-1 to the shortstop.
Glowenke in that 6-game stretch is batting just a little under 500, 10 for 22, 2 doubles, a home run, and 4 RBIs. He almost had another double against Katuitt a couple nights ago. He tried to stretch it out, but was thrown out at second.
The 1-1 to Glowenke misses upstairs. 2-1 now. Seen Glowenke have a little bit of problems on the base paths. He's been thrown out a couple times, picked off. A little bit of a mental gap sometimes on the base paths. Has the opportunity here with the base hit to knock in Cody Morissette and tie up this ball game. Here's a 2-1 to Glowenke. Ground ball that is past the diving Jordan Westberg. Here comes Cody Morissette. He's waved in, and he'll score standing up. Jimmy Glowenke gets it done again. His 13th RBI of the season ties this game up at 1.
And that's exactly how Jimmy Glowenke has been playing over these past 6 games. It's just been clutch. And there it is again, a little single over to left field that was just enough to get it done. Now, I believe if that doesn't hit off the glove of Jordan Westberg at short, that might have been a close play at home, but it slowed the ball down and forced Trevor Hopper in left to run in a little more, gave Cody Morissette some time, and the Braves evened it up.
Here's the DH today, Jared Poland stepping in. His first pitch is below the knees for ball 1. Poland has really made this designated hitter spot his own. He's played in the last 4 games at that DH spot, hitting .304 on the year. 1-0 is right on the outside corner, calling for a strike, a ball and a strike now. The count to Jared Poland.
And with him playing DH, that adds a little bit more flexibility with him not playing in the field, and he's also a pitcher as well. And he's he's been doing pretty well at pitcher as well. So you give him a little bit of rest in the field, and you can use him as a pitcher whenever you want as well.
Yeah, he's got a 2-1 record for the Braves this season. 1-1 fastball that too far inside for home plate umpire Mark Delaney. Count now at 2-1. Batting wise for Poland in the last game against Katuitt, he went a very rare 0-for. Prior to that, he had a 5-game hitting streak that came to an end, but looks to start a new one here. 2-1 is a one-hopper over to Westberg at short. He collects, throws on to second to Lucas Dunn, who steps on second himself for out number 3. Well, the Braves get it done. They make up that one run off of a couple of hits, and they leave nobody on here in the bottom of the first inning. We head now to the top of the second, all knotted up at 1 here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Welcome back to Doran Park. 1-1 score here between the Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves. It'll be 6, 7, 8 spots to up now for Hyannis here in this top of the second inning. And Sam, the Braves doing a nice job in the bottom of the first to make up that blemish in the top half.
Yeah, that's big for them to even this game back up and not fall under a deficit heading into the second inning. But the way this game's been going, this could be a little bit of a high-scoring matchup. We know that Connor Rash doesn't have the best ERA. Rakowski's been good, but the rest of the Braves pitching staff, especially in the bullpen, has been struggling.
Chad McDaniel stepping in for Hyannis. He looks at a pitch that misses inside for ball 1. McDaniel out of Missouri. He's only played in 14 games for Hyannis. He's batting .225 in those games, and he looks at another pitch that misses the zone high for ball 2. McDaniel last played on the way back on July 20th before the All-Star break against Katuitt in their 6-2 win as he fouls the 2-0 pitch out of play for strike 1. In that game, he went 0 for 2. He had an RBI walk in that game, one of 2 walks. He's looking for his first hit since July 17th, and it's not going to come here. 2-1 pitch is popped sky high on the infield. Beloso battling the sun. He drops the ball. He hit it straight into the sun. It'll go as an error on Cade Beloso, and Chad McDaniel finds himself on first base.
Well, this is the earliest game besides the doubleheader against Orleans in the very first weekend of the season. This is the earliest game the Braves have played at Doran Park. In that first game against Orleans, it was cloudy, so the sun wasn't even out. And Cade Beloso struggles with the sun. It's shining right behind, a little higher than when it usually is, on the third base side, and that obviously got in his face. And now the Harbor Hawks have a runner on, and Chad McDaniel.
And now here's Lucas Dunn stepping in. He looks at a first pitch strike from Harrison Rakowski. Lucas Dunn. He's only played 7 games. That's because he just missed about a month of the season, spending some time with Team USA. 0-1 is hit over to Glowanke. Slides, makes the play at second. They get the out at second base. Morissette on the transfer drops the ball, so Dunn will get to first base on the fielder's choice. Now with a runner on first, there's one away.
Well, they got Beloso's air out, which is huge. And for him, he just needs to put that last one away. And the way that he's been struggling at the plate, his average is now down in the low 200s. And with a play like that, just needs to put it past him. But Glowanke A nice sliding play over at short, tosses to second. Morissette dropped the ball on the transfer, but they still get McDaniel out for the first out of the inning.
Here's Jackson Olsen now, who squares to bunt, but pulls it back, looks at the pitch outside for ball one. Olsen out of Hartford, an East Coast kid out of New Milford, Connecticut, batting .230 on the year. The 1-0, grounded over to second, could be two. Morissette's got it. Quick throw to second in time to Glowenke. On to first base, and it's in time. A 4-6-3 double play gets the Braves out of the second inning. And that middle infield chemistry between Morissette and Glowenke has turned into something special. No runs off, no hits, nobody left on. We are on to the bottom of the second when the Braves try to take the lead here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Well, after a busy 1-2-3 inning in the top half of the second inning, the Braves will be looking to take the lead here in the bottom half with their 6, 7, 8 spots due up. And coming up first is Jake McKenzie, who's in left field today.
McKenzie's coming off a nice one, 2 for 3 with a double, a run scored against the Catuit Kettleers a couple of nights ago. He's raised that average now to a solid 250. He's 14 for 56 on the year.
And he's become a consistent bat for this Braves team. First pitch from Connor Ash misses down and in for ball one. 3 doubles on the year for Jake McKenzie on the team that leads the league in doubles. Here's the 1-0 from Ash. And it's taken inside, possibly a little high as well. 2-0 now. Connor Ash throwing to his Missouri teammate. Behind the plate and Chad McDaniel, and the 2-0 is in the dirt for ball 3, and now McKenzie will be leaving the bat on his shoulder here. 1 pitch away from jogging the first.
Yeah, you put McKenzie on with a walk here potentially if this pitch is a ball, and McKenzie has 5 stolen bases. The Braves don't steal a lot. They only have 10 stolen bases on the year. McKenzie has 50% of those.
3-0 pitch misses high, and it's ball 4. 10th walk of the year for Jake McKenzie, and the go-ahead run sits on first base.
And Ash is already struggling with location a little bit. That's a 4-pitch walk. You bring up Beloso. Now, for Cade Beloso, this is a pretty big at-bat for him. He's coming off an error in the last inning that luckily didn't turn into anything. But he's been struggling. He's 3 for his last 32. That's a .93 average, 9 strikeouts over his last 9 games.
Yeah, definitely a kid who's looking to get it going. McKenzie sits on first. Ash comes set. Fires the first pitch into Beloso. It misses up and out for ball 1. Beloso, average dropping to 229. Still is considered before the slump to be a base magnet. Seen every single game. He found a way to get on base, but has not in a while. At least that's the way it seemed. 1-0 is in the zone on the off speed. A ball and a strike now the count to Cade Beloso.
Yeah, Beloso led this team in average for a little bit in his first few games here for the Braves. He was batting over 300, but this recent little stint has not done him very well.
Quick throw back to first, and McKenzie is back in with the slide. Belosso's on-base percentage was over 400 for a lot of his time here. The first time it dipped below 400 was after the Orleans game, right before the All-Star break back on the 19th. It was at 392 and has since dropped now to 349. 1-1 misses upstairs. 2-1 now to Cade Beloso. He's drawn 12 walks on the year. Only 4 RBIs, and it's a little surprising, that number, given Beloso's start. He was batting in that 3 to 4 spot a lot. Now he finds himself slipping all the way to 7th. Another throw over to first base, and McKenzie's back in plenty of time with the head first slide. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. 1-1 game. Another throw back over to first base. Ash is really perturbed by McKenzie on the base pass. He throws back, and McKenzie's back in with the slide.
And Beloso had a pretty nice one in the 13-8 loss. The last time that Connor Ash pitched against the Braves, Beloso went 2 for 3. A run scored, a walk and a strikeout.
Here's the 2-1 now. Pop-up foul out of play over on the third base side. Count now evens at 2-2. Beloso has 1 home run on the year as well, and he hit that home run against Hyannis back on McKeon Park in the first game of the doubleheader there. Braves losing both of those games. Only 1-3 against the last place Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who are 7-26-1 coming in today. 2-2 is fouled over our heads. McKenzie was running on the pitch. He'll have to go back to first base, and we'll see another pitch at 2-2.
Yeah, you saw McKenzie take off there, and as the season progresses, Harvey Shapiro has been a little more aggressive on the base paths. You've seen a little more of those hit-and-run situations, just some flat-out steals, and I think that's just Harvey Shapiro getting more comfortable with his base runners. McKenzie's been the main guy to steal bases.
Yeah, 5 stolen bases on the year for McKenzie. He's not been caught once coming into today. Another 2-2. McKenzie stays put, and Beloso goes down on strike. Swings and misses at the off-speed pitch. That's his 20th strikeout of the year, and it's out number 1 here in the second.
He wasn't able to catch up to that ball. It was low out of the zone from Connor Ash, but Ash capitalizes on the slump that Cade Beloso has been having. He strikes out for the 20th time this season, 10th in 10 games, and now here's another player that's looking to break out of one in Kyler Fedko.
Yeah, Fedko looking to get his season started late here out of UConn, University of Connecticut. Fedko's batting 145 for the Braves. 8 for 55. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. And Fedko just needs to figure out the pitching. He's been one of the last people here on the Braves roster that has not really been able to figure out. It's not like he doesn't have the power, Sam. We see him in batting practice hitting shots that land at least 20, 30 feet beyond the fence. 1-0 count. Ash, hands just above the belt. Throws back to first base, and McKenzie's back in with the slide.
Yeah, he does hit well in batting practice, but he just hasn't been able to catch up to the pitching here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. His hit on Monday where he went 1 for 4 against YD. That was his first hit in 5 games since the 10th of July.
Very advanced pitching here in the Cape Cod League as the 1-0 is off speed, curving into the zone. A ball and a strike now to the right fielder. We say it all the time, but the pitching in this league very equivalent to that of rookie or even single A ball professionally, based on the talent here. The best of the best in this Cape Cod Baseball League. Ash again throwing over to first base. This time McKenzie decides to go back on his feet. He's back in safely, and that's got to be what, probably the 10th throwback we've seen this inning?
Yeah, there's been a lot, and McKenzie's only taken off running on 1 pitch.
Yeah.
So you never really know when he's going to go, but Connor Ash obviously worried about him on the mound.
1-1 misses upstairs. Count now 2-1 to Kyler Fedko. And if the Braves can really get his bat to start working, I think we enter in the home stretch of the season here. Only 10 games left to play. 10 games in 7 days. 2 doubleheaders in the span of 3 days in that stretch. The 2-1 is in the zone. Fastball there from Connor Ash evens up the count at 2-2.
And the corner outfielders have really been the main questions. Right and left field, we've seen so many players go through that revolving door. Fedko typically in right. McKenzie getting the start in left today, but it's been so inconsistent because of the hitting side.
Here's a 2-2 now from Ash. Swung on and missed. McKenzie advancing on the pitch. The throw is not in time. Fedko goes down on strikes, but Jake McKenzie is able to swipe second base for his 6th stolen base of the year. And now here comes Brennan Rivoli with 2 outs.
Well, on the throw, Chad McDaniel looked like could have had him by a mile, but the throw was a little low. Covering was Jordan Westberg. It bounced right in front of him and a little to his right side. That allowed McKenzie to slide into his left safely. That's his 6th stolen base, a team-leading number. And the Braves, they know how much these early inning deficits count, and they evened it up in the first inning. McKenzie gets in scoring position, but in only a 7-inning game, scoring a run here could be huge.
Now here's Brennan Rivoli, an outfielder who's been thrusted into the catching role. Swings and misses at his first pitch, but it bounces away from Chad McDaniel toward the first base dugout. Jake McKenzie is able to cruise into third base, and now the Braves go-ahead run sits 90 feet away.
And now that stolen base gets even bigger. McKenzie positioned himself to be able to score, and that pass ball that Chad McDaniel couldn't catch up to gets McKenzie over to third.
Back-to-back strikeouts for the Braves after McKenzie walked on 4 pitches to Beloso and Fedko. Rivoli's down to the count 0-1. He gets his next delivery, flies it into right field. Hunter Goodman is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. It was hit well off the bat, just right at Hunter Goodman. Braves don't score any here. No runs, no hits. 1 left on base, left on third base, and we head now to almost the halfway point of this game already, Sam. We get to the top of the third. Not tied up at 1 here between Hyannis and Bourne, and you're watching it on the Braves YouTube channel. Top of the third inning now between the Harbor Hawks and the Braves here in the first game of our doubleheader there on this Thursday, July 25th. Good to be with you, everyone. Jordan Palacio alongside Sam Wiederhaft here. 1-1 score. As the first pitch to Bryce Teodosio, big swing and a miss from the center fielder Teodosio.
And leaving McKenzie over on third to end that bottom of the second inning can come back and bite the Braves. Only a 7-inning game, and those opportunities don't come too often.
0-1 is swung on and missed by Teodosio out of Clemson. He's batting .204 on the year. 5 for 54, and like you said, Sam, every single out. Feels like it's more important with this shortened game, only 7 innings. Here's the 0-2 now from Murkowski, and it's just fouled off the bat of Teodosio back into the screen. Count will sit at 0-2.
Yeah, for Murkowski, it seems like it typically takes him just 1 inning to settle in. He usually gets roughed up a little bit in that first inning, but once he's past that first, he's usually smooth sailing.
0-2, heads up, fouled off toward the Hyannis dugout near the Bat Boys. That net protects everybody, does its job. Count still remains at 0-2. Teodosio made a pinch hit appearance against Orleans back on the 22nd. His last game that he started was against Cotuit on the 20th. The 0-2, he fights off the off speed and floats it into right field in front of Kyler Fedko for a base hit. Murkowski gets Teodosio on a 0-2 count, but can't retire him. A leadoff single here on the top of the third for Hyannis.
And he reached for one and got solid contact to shallow right field. Fedko had no shot at it. And Hyannis again leads off with a runner on. That'll be the second inning in a row. They have somebody on, and their key is just to bring them home and get back into this ballgame.
Now here's Jordan Westberg back to the top of the order here for Hyannis. He struck out swinging his first time. And looks at a first pitch strike from Harrison Murkowski. You have to imagine right at the top of the zone. Westberg, of course, with 3 home runs. Hit those 3 home runs in a span of his first 2 games, but since then has been quiet. 0-1 misses the zone low for ball 1. Count evens at a ball and a strike.
And Westbrook was a player that Hyannis was hoping could boost this lineup, and he has, but they just haven't gotten any better because of the pitching.
Runner going here on the 1-1 pitch. It's flown out into center field. Teodosio can't find it. Fedko makes the catch. They'll throw on first base to try and get him off the bag. It's not in time, and it's the first out of the inning. Jordan Westberg flies out to Kyler Fedko in right field.
Yeah, and it looked like Fabian and Fedko had a little bit of a communication issue in shallow right center field. Fabian had traveled, looked like he was going to catch it, but was at the last second called off by Kyler Fedko, who ended up making the play for the first out of the inning, and that's a important out in this lineup.
Well, here's Ian Fair now, who tripled and later scored off a wild pitch, or a passed ball, rather, in that top of the first inning. He's the reason that Hyannis is on the board right now. 1 out here. There goes the runner, Teodosio again. Rivoli's throw is not going to be close. Teodosio steals second base, our second stolen base of the game, and now Hyannis with a runner on second with only 1 out.
And they're going to try and test Rivoli. They know that this is only his second game starting at catching that he hasn't fully caught in a full-time position in about a year. He gave up 3 stolen bases in the last game that he caught, which was against YD on Monday, and that was his 4th stolen base allowed in the season in just 2 games.
And make that the first stolen base for Bryce Teodosio on the year. He takes second on Rivoli. 1-0 is chopped up the middle right by second base. Cody Morissette gloves it, throws on to first base in plenty of time for out number 2. Teodosio advances to third on the ground ball. So now it is on the RBI leader here in this league, and Hunter Goodman to come up with 2 outs.
And it's the same situation for Hunter Goodman, a runner on third. Last time he was in this situation, he struck out, but that's why that stolen base was so important. That little chopper could have possibly been 2 quick outs, and the Braves would have been out of this inning. But because Teodosio stole second, he was able to get to third and now come 90 feet of scoring with the RBI leader coming up.
He looks at the first pitch up high for ball 1. When he did strike out in that first inning on 4 pitches against Murkowski. Here's the 1-0 now, and that misses the zone outside. And now Goodman with a 2-0 advantage on the lefty Harrison Murkowski. Murkowski comes set. 2-0 pitch, and it's fouled off. An important first strike against Hunter Goodman, the right fielder today. Goodman, the only representative from this Hyannis team in the All-Star game. 31 RBIs. He's also got 35 strikeouts. However, the 2-1 pitch lined into center field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Scoring on the play, Bryce Teodosio, and make that now 32 RBIs for Hunter Goodman. A little floater with 2 outs gives Hyannis the lead.
He saw a pitch he wanted and did exactly what he needed to do. A little floater into shallow center field that scored Teodosio. Hyannis goes up by 1, and it's these early inning runs that can come back and bite you, and the Braves have given up 2 in the first 3 innings.
And they left a runner stranded on third in the second inning as well. First pitch now to Trevor Hauver is in the zone for strike 1. Hauver singled his first time up. Did not get credit for an RBI because a pass ball has scored Ian Fair earlier in that at-bat. Rakowski steps off. Hauver playing his second season with the Harbor Hawks. He's come back to earth a little bit as he fouls the 0-1 pitch off, and now he falls behind in the count at 0-2.
And it's just so weird how Hyannis really only performs against the Braves. They've been shut out 5 times on the year. They scored just 4 runs a game, which is 8th place in the league out of 10 teams.
The only problem is the Braves score 118 runs as the 0-2 pitch fouled off. Goodman was trying to take second on the pitch. He'll have to return back to first, but the Braves sit in last place in terms of offense at 118. Only Harwich separates Hyannis and Bourne.
And Hyannis has been aggressive on the base pass. They have 27 or 25 stolen bases on the year, which is right in the middle of the pack, but they've been caught 16 times, which is second in the league.
0-2, Goodman stays home. Pitch misses upstairs. It's a fastball high. Count now, a ball and 2 strikes to Trevor Hauver. Well, Hunter Goodman on the year. Only 2 stolen bases, so he's not a huge threat to go, but there he goes, and they have him picked off. Rakowski throws a first. Beloso throws to Glowanki at second, and it's a base running error that costs Hyannis their inning here. Rakowski did a nice job picking off the runner, Goodman, who was advancing on the first movement. He made a clean throw to Beloso, who made a clean throw to Glowanki to get the tag. However, Hyannis will take the lead here. They score 1 run off 2 hits, nobody left on. We'll be back here in the bottom of the 3rd inning between the Harbor Hawks and the Bourne Braves on the Braves Broadcast Network. Top of the order due up here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Braves trail 2-1 against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who, despite only winning 7 games of the season, 3 of them come against the Bourne Braves. A 4-2 win followed by a 6-4 and 13-8 win, both on the same day. The Braves are able to pick up their first win against Hyannis back on July 10th. First pitch to Cody Morissette is in the zone for strike 1. Morissette doubled and came around to score on the RBI single from Jimmy Glowanki back in that first inning. Connor Ash still on the mound, taking his time now. Steps, kicks, and fires the 0-1 that misses outside despite the frame jog from Chad McDaniel. The count evens at a ball and a strike.
And this will be Connor Ash's second time seeing the lineup. He's typically a bullpen guy, but in his eight games that he's pitched over 3 innings in 5 of them.
The 1-1 now to Morissette, misses high. 2 balls and a strike now to the second baseman.
Now, Ash is a reliever, but he's typically a long reliever. He's started 3 games.
Two one foul just in front of us off the screen. Morissette now with a count evened at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He has struck out 20 times coming in today's game. And an appearance in the All-Star game, went 0 for 1 in that lone at bat. 2-2 misses inside. Count fills up now at 3-2 to the leadoff man.
Yeah, Hyannis had only one representation of the All-Star game in Hunter Goodman, but he started the games. The Braves were the only team without a starter in the All-Star game.
3-2 pitch swung on and missed by Cody Morissette. He goes down for the first out of the third inning. Make that the third strikeout for Connor Ash. And how about Connor Ash? You look at his stats. Came into his day pitching 22 1/3 innings. He had 36 strikeouts. He's already got 3 more here through the first 2 1/3.
Well, it must be just the fact that Hyannis has been able to have the Braves number this season. The hitting hasn't worked. The pitching hasn't worked for the Braves, and it's all been against the Harbor Hawks.
First pitch to Xavier Warren misses outside for ball 1.
And this is a cold Braves team, too. The Braves are coming in not playing their best baseball at all.
1-0 pitch flown out, slicing foul, out of play in the left field. Count evens at a ball and a strike now.
They haven't won a game since July 17th against YD right here at home. It was a 6-0 win, but you sprinkle a couple off days in there in the All-Star game and a few rainouts as well. But the Braves haven't had that winning feeling in over a week.
1-1 misses the zone. Count now 2-1 to Xavier Warren. And Ryan, the Braves have been really looking for a win. They've been stuck at 13 for a long time. Here's a 2-1 now to Warren. And it's called a strike. Looked outside, but Mark Delaney gives a strike call. Now the count evened at 2-2. Well, Connor Ash here, if he's able to strike out Warren or get a strikeout for the rest of the game for that matter, will become the first pitcher this season to hit 40 strikeouts. Here's the 2-2. Broken bat, pop up just into shallow right field. Lucas Dunn is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the third.
And that was a little deeper than where Beloso's was, but it was still the same area. And that time, Lucas Dunn shedding the sun, putting the glove up, putting himself in the shade a little bit so he can see the ball, and he made the out. Beloso didn't really know where the ball was a few innings ago. The sun was a little bit brighter, a little more up in the sky, but he got charged for the year. It was a difference of 2 different plays right there.
Now here's Judd Fabian now, who struck out back in the first inning. 0 for 1. Here's the first delivery from Ash. Swung on and missed, and it's a big swing from Fabian as well. He falls behind 0-1.
All 4 strikeouts for Connor Ash. He's gotten the Braves swinging on all 4 times.
The 0-1 delivery from Ash now is in the dirt past McDaniel. A ball and a strike now. So with his 3 strikeouts so far today, Ash ties Ian Seymour from YD atop the league's best in terms of strikeouts. Like I said, he's only 1 away from hitting that 40 mark. However, Ash nowhere near the ERA leaders. 1-1 pop sky high. Moving toward foul territory. It's going to be close. Chad McDaniel is under it, and he makes the catch just behind home plate for out number 3. A strikeout and 2 pop-ups does the Braves in the bottom of the third. No hits, no runs. We head now to the top of the 4th inning with Hyannis up 2-1 over the Braves. We'll be back here on the Braves Baseball Network.
Visit baseballfactory.com.
Top of the fourth inning here. 4, 5, 6 spots due up for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who lead this game 2-1 against the Bourne Braves. Trevor Hoover, who was in the middle of at-bats, back in the third before Hunter Goodman got picked up, now steps back in with a clean slate and looks at his first pitch that's in the dirt for ball one.
Yeah, had a 1-2 count on him when Goodman was picked off over at first, and we mentioned that Hyannis, a team that coming into this game and only stolen 25 bases, right about in the middle of the pack, but they've been caught stealing a league-leading number of times, and you saw it again there.
1-0 finds the outside corner from Rakowski. A ball and a strike now, the count to Trevor Hoover. Well, the Braves are on the stretch of games now, as the 1-1 is in the zone for strike two. They have 10 games in 7 days. Only a week left in the regular season. Seems like it's flown by. 1-2, chopped over to Cody Morissette. He gloves it, underhand flip to Cade Beloso at first base in time for a very quick out number one.
Yeah, easy ground ball over to Cody Morissette. He takes care of it. That's what Harrison Rakowski needs. I don't think he has too many innings left in this game. It's only a 7-inning game. Harvey Shapiro, there's nobody warming up right now, but could turn toward a reliever pretty soon. But this is what Rakowski needs. He's given up 1 run in his 2 runs in his 3 innings of work.
First pitch to Brooks Carlson misses the zone high. He's given up 2 runs, however, only one of them earned. The first run coming off of a pass ball charged to Brennan Rivoli behind the plate. 1-0 pitch, fouled over the screen. Count now at a ball and a strike against the DH Carlson, who's 0 for 1. He flew out to Kyler Fedko in the first inning. Kowski is still looking for his first base runner free inning as the 1-1 is looked at for strike two. Now Rakowski 1 strike away from picking up his 3rd strikeout of the game. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Fastball that misses high. Waste pitch there from Rakowski. You see a lot of pitchers on a 0-2 count, 1-2 count, go fastball high, try and get the hitters to chase. Carlson holds off. Now looks at his 2-2 pitch, which he fans at. Make that strikeout number 3 for Harrison Rakowski. He gets Carlson on the high stuff.
This could be a huge 1-2-3 inning for Rakowski, who, like you mentioned, Jordan, hasn't had an easy inning. He's allowed a base runner in every single inning he's pitched in, now in the 4th. It'd be important for him to set these runners down, get a little bit more confidence on the mound. He's given up 2 runs, one of them being unearned, but gotten roughed up by this Hyannis lineup so far.
And he's most likely only going to throw 4 or 5. First pitch to the new hitter, Chad McDaniel's taken over the head of Cody Morissette into right field. McDaniel will get to first base. It's a 2-out single for Hyannis.
It wasn't as easy as Harrison Rakowski might have thought. Cody Morissette at second jumped high for that one. Looked like he might have had a chance, but it just got over his outstretched glove into shallow right center field. Fedko fielded it, and it's a 2-out single, which could really come back to be dangerous. And Hyannis puts a runner on with 2 outs, and Lucas Dunn coming up.
Yeah, Lucas Dunn on the year, or on the game, I should say. He's 0 for 1 with the fielder's choice. He reached first, and he looks at a first pitch strike from Harrison Rakowski. Dunn just getting back to this team after playing for Team USA. 0-1 is in the dirt. Count now at 1-1, and it's sort of a rarity to see a player play with Team USA and come back for only about a week's worth of games, but Dunn has done that for the Harbor Hawks.
He has, and the Braves were hoping that maybe Alika Williams or Alec Burleson would come back, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah, this is his first game since July 3rd as he fouls the 1-1 off back into the screen. 1-2 now to Lucas Dunn, the second baseman. He hit .250 with Hyannis before departing to Team USA. The Braves, of course, with Alika Williams, Alec Burleson, Michael Kirian in Team USA. 1-2, foul ball, hits off of Dunn himself in the box. Count will remain at 1-2. Heston Kjerstad, who is now supposed to have been on the Braves rosters for the past 2 seasons. Team went deep into Omaha, then he went straight to Team USA. and Casey Martin in as well. Supposed to be on the Braves team the last 2 seasons. Plays in Team USA. Here's the 1-2 to Dunn, and he fouls it off again over the first base dugout, out of play. Count still at 1-2 here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Chad McDaniel, the runner on first, he singled into right field. After 2 easy outs to kick off the inning, a Hoover ground out and a Carlson strikeout. The 2-2 pitch is in the dirt. Rivoli had some trouble tracking it down. Advancing to second base is Chad McDaniel. So now with 2 outs, there's a runner in scoring position.
And Rivoli had a nice throw down to second with Cody Morissette covering, just wasn't in time. Missed it by a little less than half a second. McDaniel slid in safely.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second base with Lucas Dunn at the plate for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They have a 2-1 lead over the Braves as we hit the midway point through this ball game. Only 7 innings. Here's the 2-2, grounded over the third. Xavier Ward got it on a weird hop throw across the diamond, is in time for out number 3. So that single and eventual base allowed to Chad McDaniel. He goes stranded at second base. It's all for naught. 1 hit, 1 left on, but amounting to 0 runs in the top of the 4th. The Braves looking to tie this game up. 4, 5, 6 spots due up for them in the bottom half of the 4th inning. We'll be back here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the 4th inning, and the Braves trailing 2-1 here against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Jimmy Glowacki stepping in. 1 for 1, an RBI single back in that first inning. And he's got a hot streak going right now at the plate. He looks at his first pitch from Connor Ash working in his 4th inning, and it's in the zone for strike 1 to the shortstop.
Yeah, he's just been dominant during this tear, make that his 5th RBI over his last 7 games, a 7-game hit streak, which is the longest by any Brave this season.
The 0-1 now to Glowacki, popped up foul over the first base dugout. Count now 0-2 to Jimmy Glowacki. Isn't a big strikeouts guy. He's only went down on strikes 11 times so far this season. And that's with over 100 at-bats. The 0-2 barely fouled off a check swing that hit the bat. A knee-buckling curveball there from Ash. Almost got Glowacki, but he fouled it off, and he stays alive at 0-2.
Well, I think he got lucky that it actually fouled off his back because it looked like that ball was curving right in the strike zone. So it goes as a foul ball, and Glowacki gets another shot at it. Here's the 0-2 from Ash. Fastball that just misses the zone outside.
Glowinski thought about, decided not to go. Count now at 1-2.
That's a good strikeout number. Only striking out 11 times. He forces pitchers to really battle with him and run those pitch counts up.
Yeah, he puts the ball in play, and he does so here. 1-2 drive into left field. Back onto this hover and say adios. Jimmy Glowinski, his second home run of the year, and that ties this game up at 2.
Oh, Glowinski is on a tear right now. That's his second homer of the year, second homer in a week and a day, and he shot that one to deep left field, and he evens this game up at 2. Glowinski has swung the bat extremely well over this past week and a half.
No doubt about that one. Over toward the bullpen in left field. His second home run, and it was pretty much hit to that same exact spot. Here's Jared Poland now, and he looks at a first pitch that misses the zone, ball 1. Glowinski, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, and a home run in there as well. The Braves tie this game up in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 to Poland, curveball that moves into the zone. A ball and a strike now to the designated hitter.
Glowinski's found something offensively. This might be the hottest streak we've seen by a Brave this year, and he's just been a force in that cleanup spot.
1-1 is off speed. Poland way out in front. Fans at it. 1-2 now. Braves tie up the game at 2. And here's the 1-2. Another curveball. Poland fights this one off, though. Stays alive in the count. And how about that? I think the big thing for this Braves team, if they are able to, you think you take your chances on the Braves if they're able to work into the Hyannis bullpen. And now there are some arms getting loose now for the Harbor Hawks. 1-2 pitch fouled off again by Poland, and he's putting up a good fight at the plate.
Yeah, Hyannis' bullpen has just been a big disappointment for the Harbor Hawks this year. They haven't had the guys that they wanted to emerge, have not come up. And it seems like every single time you're watching a Harbor Hawks game, they lead, and then by about the 6th or 7th inning, their lead gets taken over.
1-2 pitch in the dirt, bounces past the plate. Count now evens at 2-2. Jared Poland batting over 300 coming in to tonight's game. Here's the 2-2. Curveball just misses the zone. Close pitch there from Connor Ash. Nice take by Poland. The count fills up. He was down 0-2, and now he's fought all his way back to 3-2. Let's see if Poland can keep on fighting. Here's the payoff pitch now from Connor Ash, and it misses the zone. What an at-bat from Jared Poland. From 0-2, he works out a walk.
And those were just 4 straight pitches that weren't really that close to the zone. Poland just had to lay off, and now he's on first. Connor Ash showing some signs of struggle. Gives off the home run to the leadoff batter. Now you put Poland on. McKenzie, who's already gotten on with a walk, he's coming up and also stole a base. So this back end of the lineup from Glowinski on down has really been solid so far through the first time on Connor Ash. So now McKenzie up. Braves are hoping he can get a hit, move Poland over, and get some more runs in, take the lead.
And McKenzie walked his first time, so he's been on base. First pitch to him, he squares up to bunt, and he pulls it back, watches it go up high for ball 1. Remember, no outs here in this bottom of the 4th inning. The Braves with an opportunity to really put some separation between them and Hyannis. McKenzie looks like he's going to square, now does. Ash kicks and throws. It's bunted down the first base line. A nice bunt from McKenzie. Ash fields, throws on to first base. It's a sacrifice bunt from McKenzie, but he gets the job done and moves Poland over to second base.
Yeah, that's all he needed to do. A little grounder on the first base side. It chased Ash over, but more importantly, it got Poland over to second. So you sacrifice an out, and the go-ahead run in the 4th inning gets over on second. Now, in a 9-inning game, you probably wouldn't see that in the 4th. But this one only being 7, Harvey Shapiro gets a little gutsy, calls the bunt, and they move that desperate 3rd run that would give the Braves the lead over in scoring position.
Yeah, some small ball in the 4th inning here. Now here's Cade Beloso. He struck out his first time, and he grinds his first pitch right back up the middle. That's Westberg who's got it. He shuffles and throws on the first base in time for out number 2. Poland, the runner, moves up to third base. So now the go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Braves.
Well, on a typical ground ball to short, you really wouldn't see the runner on second trying to take third, but it was hit so slowly off the bat, off the end of the bat by Cade Beloso that it gave enough time for Poland to get to third right when Jordan Westberg was fielding it. So it ended up turning into a positive for Cade Beloso, and now there's 2 outs, Fedko up, but that third run is just 90 feet away.
It's hit off the very end of the bat. Had a lot of spin to it as well. Here's Kyler Fedko, and he looks at a first pitch that curves into the zone for strike one. The bottom 4 for this Braves lineup still looking for their first hit. McKenzie's been on base once because of a walk, but him, Beloso, Fedko, and Rivoli have all been hitless. 0-1 is also looked at, but it moved into the zone on the off speed, and Fedko is in the hole here at 0-2.
His job is just to get that run home and get on base. He finds himself behind 0-2, and Fedko doesn't have the best plate discipline here on the team.
0-2 pitch to Fedko as an excuse me swing. He chops it right back up to the pitcher's mound. Ash Fields throw onto first base just beats Fedko by a step. It was almost an accidental infield hit, but that will retire the side. Jimmy Glowacki ties things up here in the bottom of the 4th inning with a leadoff home run, and the Braves strand Jared Poland at third base. It's one run off 1 hit and 1 left on base. We move now to the top of the 5th inning with the game tied up at 2 here between the Harbor Hawks and the Braves. We'll be back on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Top of the 5th inning here. This game is all tied at 2. Jimmy Glowacki's home run in the bottom of the 4th inning puts us at all square here from Doran Park. Jordan Palacio here alongside Sam Wiederhaft. And it's the 8-9-1 spots due up here for Hyannis in a 2-2 tie against the Bourne Braves in a crucial doubleheader for both teams. First pitch to Jackson Olsen is in the zone for strike one. Olsen on the game, he's 0 for 1. He grounded into an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. 0-1 is in the dirt. Count now 1-1 to the third baseman, Jackson Olsen.
Yeah, you mentioned how crucial this series is, and for Hyannis, they have a sliver of a chance at making the playoffs, but this is where they can get it started, is right here.
1-1 is in the zone, looked at for strike two. And Hyannis needs to do a lot of winning in the last stretch of the season. 1-2 is offered at. It's in the dirt. Rivoli applies the tag, and that'll go as strikeout number 4 for Harrison Rakowski here in the 5th inning.
That was a way outside off-speed pitch that was in the dirt. Rivoli kept track of it, and Olsen just went around. Now, home plate umpire Mark Delaney made the call, no appeal. He said that he went around, so for Rakowski, that's his 4th strikeout in the first out of the inning.
Here's Bryce Teodosio now, who singled, stole second, and came around to score. Back in the third. First pitch to him misses the zone for ball 1. Rakowski still looking for his first inning without a base runner. Here's the 1-0. And that's in the zone on the curveball for a strike. In the second inning, it was a 1-2-3 inning, and he didn't allow a hit. However, an error by Cade Beloso and a fielder's choice got 2 runners on in that inning. 1-1 pitch is fanned at by Teodosio way out in front on the off speed, and Rakowski has the 1-2 advantage.
Yeah, it's been rough for Rakowski on the mound. He's allowed 5 hits to Hyannis. You mentioned that second inning. It was a weird 1-2-3 inning. He only faced 3 batters, but certainly allowed some contact.
1-2 pitch popped up into shallow center field. Cody Morissette backing up on it, and he makes the catch. There's no error this time made by that side of the field, and it's a quick 2-up, 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
Just like the last inning where Rakowski struck out 1 and got 2 quick outs. This is going the same way, but you go back to the top of the lineup in Westberg, who's due for a hit. He's 0 for 2, and he's actually 0 for his last 7 against the Braves. He's looking for his first hit since that doubleheader.
Here's the first pitch from Rakowski. Swung on and missed by Westberg at a pitch that kissed off the dirt. And Rakowski really has that off speed going. We saw that. That was almost every single pitch he threw to Teodosio. Here's the 0-1. Grounded straight back up the middle, right into the shift, takes a funny hop over toward Morissette at second base. He fields it cleanly, though, throws onto first base, and it's in time for out number 3. Well, there's that 1-2-3 inning Rakowski was looking for. No hits, nobody on base, and the Braves keep the Harbor Hawks in check here, and possibly Rakowski's last inning. Head now to the bottom of the 5th inning, the equivalent of the bottom of the 7th inning here from Dorn Park, tied up at 2. We'll be back here on the Braves Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th inning here from Doran Park, a 2-2 tie between the Braves and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Brennan Rivoli stepping in for the Bravos. 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. The Braves scoring 2 runs here in this game. 1 in the first off of Cody Morissette's double, and both RBIs credited to Jimmy Glowanke. A single in the first, and that home run to kickstart the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Rivoli, lined up the middle, and it'll be a base hit for Brendan Rivoli. First pitch swinging, and he's got a base hit, and he represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 5th.
Rivoli's an interesting player in the fact that he's played just all around the diamond. We saw him a lot in left field, right field, but now he's asking to really step up and be the number 2 catcher behind Robert Carmody after all the injuries. The last one being Jackson Greer being released due to an injury. So now Rivoli is going to see a lot more playing time, and that's the kind of swinging that the Braves need to see from him. 1 pitch, takes it straight to center field for a leadoff single.
Now Cody Morissette coming in. He fouls the first pitch off. Looks like it caught a little bit of Chad McDaniel behind the plate. He'll walk it off, or at least try to. And that might be the story there for the Braves, is the real revolving door at catcher. Braves have released 5 different catchers, and this season is only lasting 51 days. That's about 1 new catcher every 10 days. We had Paul Gazzo, Peter Burns, Jackson Greer was the most recent one. We had, who am I forgetting here, Sam? We had Henry Davis.
Who homered against Hyannis.
Yeah.
Jacob Campbell.
Yeah. And there's the 5. So an outfielder in Brendan Rivoli has been asked to come in and catch. He did a little bit of catching in college. He's taken about a full year off from it. The 0-1 is foul tipped into the glove of Chad McDaniel. Morissette falls behind 0-2. And also Robert Carmody comes in, was added to the team about a week ago, and now he's been thrown into the spotlight here as the team's number one catcher.
Yeah, wasn't even in the league a week and a half ago. The Braves sign him hoping to be the replacement for Jacob Campbell. Instead, he's now the number one catcher.
0-2 just misses the plate outside. Morissette stays alive at a ball and 2 strikes.
It was really the story for the Braves a season ago. They had 5 injuries in 4 days, and that was the story of their season. They had a really talented team that ended up with a losing record because of their injuries.
Here's the 1-2. Grounded up to the middle. That could be 2. Westberg flips to second to Dunn in time there. Throw on to first, not in time. Morissette beats it out. He will be credited with a fielder's choice, but the Braves, just by the slimmest of margins, escape the double play.
Yeah, slow roller over to Westberg, and that's really the only thing that saved Morissette getting on at first. Westberg tossed it to second. Dunn had a good exchange time and almost got it over to first in time, but Morissette beats it out. You bring up Xavier Warren, who's 0 for 2, and Braves starting to get down to crunch time. You mentioned it's the equivalent of the bottom of the 7th inning in a full 9-inning game. This one only going 7 from the first half of the doubleheader, so this is when the Braves really need to turn it up and get some runs home.
Here's Xavier Warren now, the lefty, or the switch hitter, batting out of the left-hander's box. He looks at a curveball that finds a zone for strike 1. Warren 0 for his last 6. Last hit coming against YD back a couple days ago. Throw back onto first base, and Morissette is back in with the slide. Warren, really the story of his season has just been how inconsistent, how streaky he's been. We'll see him have 3 games. Well, in those 3 games, he'll have 5, 6 hits, handful of RBIs, and then some games he'll go 0 for. 0-1, he squares up to bunt. However, he fouls it off by the Braves dugout, and now he's in the hole here at 0-2.
You don't see that too often. Xavier Warren squaring around a bunt, but he was moving his hands up the barrel as he turned around to square up to bunt at the last minute, but fouled it off and now finds himself in an 0-2 hole, so he won't be doing that again.
Morissette, the runner at first. Got there off a fielder's choice. Here's the 0-2. Misses up high. A ball and 2 strikes now. The count to third baseman Warren. And there was a long time, Sam, where we thought Warren would most likely represent this team as an all-star. However, the emergence of Judge Fabian, Cody Morissette, Xavier Warren just missed the cut.
Yeah, and he got a lot of talent at third base, too. And Xavier Warren just not really getting the luck of the draw. He was, at the time of the All-Star game, batting a little under 280.
Here's the 1-2 to Warren, and it's in the dirt. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's doing a nice job working out his at-bat here. Braves had 6 All-Stars, 3 of which in the field, between Fabian, Cody Morissette on first base, and now Jackson Greer, who actually was injured in that All-Star game. 2-2 pitch. Morissette's running. It's popped sky high into shallow left field. This might drop, but Trevor Hover comes in, almost coming all the way to the dirt. He makes the catch, and Morissette does well to get back to first base. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, I think you had about 5 players going after that ball, and Lucas Dunn also had to come over as well. With Morissette stealing on that play, Dunn had to come all the way across the diamond, try and cover second. He actually ended up looking for the ball as well, but it was all called off by Trevor Hover, and he gets the second out of the inning.
Here's Judd Fabian looking for his first hit as well. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop-up in foul territory. He looks at a first pitch strike from Connor Ash. Ash had gone 3 strikeouts in 2 1/3 inning. Since then has still been looking for that strikeout. Throws back to first base, and Morissette's back in safely with the slide. The Braves looking to hit that magic number. It seems whenever they hit 3 runs, they're most likely to win. 11 out of their 13 wins have come when they've scored 3 or more. 0-1 pitch misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the center fielder, Fabian.
And there was a point about 2 weeks ago, the Braves had won 3 straight, and in those 3 games, they had scored 24 runs. They just haven't seen that kind of offensive explosion since then.
Another throw back to first base. It's close, but Morissette is back in safely with a head first slide. This Braves team really at home. They've been good at home, sitting at 500, 8-8. However, on the road, 5-12-1. 1-1 pitch misses upstairs. Count now 2-1. Braves picking up their first tie a couple nights ago against Cotuit at Lowell Park. A 2-2 game. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, missed, off speed. Fabian chased it low, it looked like. And now the count evens up here at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the runner on first, Cody Morissette.
Yeah, what a shame that Cotuit game was. That game ending after 8 innings. Of course, Cotuit not having lights, but the Braves had a lot of momentum going into those final couple stages.
Another throw down to first base. Not sure Connor Ash is aware of the Braves stealing numbers on the year. With how much he's thrown over there, you'd think that the Braves were top base stealers in the league.
No, it's been a little bit more aggressive today, I'll say that.
We have seen some action on the base paths. That is for sure. Another throw back to first base. Morissette back in safely. We haven't seen a lot of boos out of the crowd for the pickoffs. What do you got on that?
I mean, it slows the game down. It's annoying.
Yeah,
it's annoying. But in a league like this, I don't blame him.
2-2 pitch rocketed into left field. Morissette was running on the pitch. Hauver moves over. He tracks it down. The throw comes into second base. Morissette advances to third on the line drive single from Judge Fabian. And now with the hottest man in the lineup coming up is runners on the corners for Jimmy Glowinski.
Well, you can do a lot with 2 outs, and Fabian gets on base. And like you said, Jordan, it moves now to Jimmy Glowinski, who's got the 2 RBIs for the Braves in this game. The hottest batter in this lineup, and Fabian had great contact. Trevor Hauver took a great angle, actually cut Morissette off from coming home and Fabian from getting anywhere over past first. But now it's Glowinski in a big spot here.
First pitch to Jimmy Glowinski. He takes it. Fastball that misses the zone inside for ball 1. Glowinski an RBI single in the first inning that scored Cody Morissette, and the solo shot in the 4th inning to give the Braves the 2-2 tie. Now he comes up with an opportunity to give them the lead, and he does it. A 1-0 pitch, line drive into right field, and it falls in front of Hunter Goodman. Scoring on the play is Cody Morissette, and advancing all the way to third is Judge Fabian. Have yourself a day, Jimmy Glowinski. 3 at-bats and 3 RBIs.
Well, he's had a hot week and a half, and it all comes together in this game. 3 for 3. He's responsible for all 3 of the Braves' runs, and he does it again there. He goes opposite field this time and hits it to shallow right. It was just enough to get Cody Morissette home safely, and the Braves take the lead. Jimmy Glowinski has been the hottest batter, one of the hottest batters in the league.
He has been. 2 RBI singles and a home run for Jimmy Glowinski. Mal visit going on right now between Connor Ash and Chad McDaniel. And the Braves now only 6 defensive outs away from picking up their 14th win of the season here against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And they're still not done in this inning. Here comes Jared Poland, who's 0 for 1. He walked his last time, though, stranded at third base. The Braves with the 3-2 lead. Runners on the corners. Outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ash still working on the mound. First pitch to Poland, swung on and missed for strike 1. Poland out of Louisville. A 2-way player. Wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility if we see him pitch. If not in this game, in the second game. The 0-1 is in the dirt. They appeal to first base. Jason Klump, the umpire, says Poland did not go. So the count now at a ball and a strike.
Well, Glowinski 2 of his 3 RBIs have come with 2 outs. The one in the first inning was with the 2 outs. His home run was to lead off the inning, but right there, 2 outs yet again, and that's just great discipline.
1-1 is in the zone right at the knees. Taken for strike 2. Poland now down to his last strike. Pretty high OPS number at 755. And an on-base percentage of just under 400 at 385. The kid knows how to get on base. Glowacki cheats off the bag. The 1-2 is chopped over to shortstop. That's Westberg. He can't field it. It just is under his glove. Poland will advance to first, and more importantly, Judd Fabian comes in scoring from third base. And just like that, the Braves have a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, Glowacki stealing, I think, put a little bit more pressure on Jordan Westberg at short. It got under his glove, and he couldn't throw it to second because Glowacki was already there. So he was looking at first when he was fielding it. He wasn't looking at the ball. He was looking at first, and that caused the ball to go underneath his glove. Run comes in. Braves now have a 2-run lead in the 5th inning.
Chad Gassman on the mound, and this will be the end for Connor Ash. The Harbor Hawks are going to the bullpen. Ash has given up 4 runs here, and he leaves 2 more on base. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the new pitcher and the end of this bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be back here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel.
Number 2 from Fordham University.
Connor Ash's day comes to an end, and now on the mound for the Harbor Hawks here, Sam. He's been dealt a bad hand. It's Patrick Fredrickson.
Yeah, Fredrickson, the righty out of Minnesota, comes up with runners on first and second and a high 9.31 ERA on the season.
His first pitch to the new batter here, Jake McKenzie, is in the zone for strike 1.
He got roughed up in his last outing, too, July 19th against Katuitt. It was a 15-5 loss for the Harbor Hawks. He went 1 1/3, 4 runs allowed, 3 of them earned, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and just 8 batters faced.
0-1 is a big swing and a miss for McKenzie. He just missed on that one, and he falls behind 0-2. McKenzie himself, he's looking to record his first at-bat. He walked his first time in the second, and he dropped a sac bunt back in the 4th inning. The runner on second, Glowacki. On first, Jared Poland. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's way up and outside. McKenzie takes it, and the count now at 1-2.
McKenzie's had a pretty productive day so far. A sacrifice on the walk. He's got on base 1 time. And this is where Hyannis typically seems to fold, is these later innings.
Here's the 1-2 to McKenzie. Breaking ball. It's swung on and missed. He goes down swinging. 5th strikeout of the game. But the Braves, how about them? They strike for 2 runs here in this bottom of the 5th inning. It's 2 runs off 3 hits, an error by Hyannis as well, and 2 left on base. Come back, top of the 6th inning, and it looks like it will be Harrison Rakowski to return to the mound. We'll be back here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Top of the sixth inning, and the day has come to an end for Harrison Rakowski. He goes 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, only one of those earned, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Currently in line for the win today. And now, after a very brief warm-up period, here's Jared Poland on the mound.
Poland, the righty out of Louisville, pitching in his 6th game. He has a 2-1 record, 5.40 ERA, but that's been lowering this season. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 10 hits. He's allowed 4 runs, 11 strikeouts, and 4 walks. His last game was last Saturday against the Wareham Gaben in that 95-degree game. He pitched 1 inning there, only allowed 1 hit, no earned runs, walked 1, and struck out 2.
Here's Ian Fair now. He fouls his first pitch straight back into the screen. Braves scoring 2 runs in that bottom of the 5th inning, which gives them the 4-2 lead right now. We mentioned Poland's two-way ability. 0-1, breaks into the zone, must have just missed high. It was a knee buckler there against Ian Fair. However, ruled the ball 1-1 now.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Harvey Shapiro just rolls with 2 pitchers for the rest of this game.
1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Now, Poland 1 strike away here. Had ball and 2 strikes.
You think about a week ago, Friday's game against Orleans, Saturday's game against Wareham tied the season high. Both games with 6 pitchers used. There were 12 pitchers used between 2 games.
1-2 pitch is a fastball, swung on and missed. The first batter up goes down on strikes. Successful start so far for Jared Poland. 1 batter, 1 strikeout.
And Poland, that's his 12th strikeout on the year for him. He struck out 2 against Wareham, and he starts this one out with a strikeout. Just the way that Poland wants to work this inning. And we were talking about it off the air, Jordan, but we believe Poland's coming in a little cold. We never saw him actually warm up in the bullpen.
Here's Hunter Goodman now. He looks at a first pitch that misses the zone, and sometimes that's the life of a two-way player. He comes in, he bats in the last half inning, gets on first base, reaches on an error, and now he's in the game pitching. 1-0 pitch, popped up, foul, out of play. A ball and a strike now, but yeah, like we were talking about, never really saw Poland in the bullpen at least, getting up and throwing a little bit. You hope he got a little bit loose, and the warm-up pitches before the inning were really his warm-up. 1-1 pitch is a high fly ball into center field. Judd Fabian battles the sun. He's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Poland here in the 6th.
No, it's gone Poland's way through 2 batters. Strikeout and a fly out in just a few pitches. So he's been able to roll through the middle part of this lineup extremely well through 2 batters, and it's Poland's job to get these final now 4 outs and give the Braves their first ever win in the first game of a doubleheader this season.
Yeah, they're 0-3 coming in to today's game. Here's Trevor Hover, and he looks at a first pitch that just misses the zone for ball 1. Hover 1 for 2 in this afternoon's game. A single in the first, and he grounded out to Cody Morissette in the 4th. 1-0 now. Popped up foul over toward the Upper Cape Technical High School here by Doran Park. A ball and a strike now.
Not only are they 0-3 in game 1s of doubleheaders, they've been outscored coming into this game 23-6. Their biggest loss of the season came in their first game against Orleans in the first doubleheader of the season.
1-1 pitch is a check swing from Hover that he can't hold up. It passes the plate, so ruled strike 2. He's behind 1-2. And it seems, in those first games of the doubleheaders, there's just a certain flatness that comes out from the Braves, and they're playing today with a little sense of urgency. 1-2 is in the zone. Called strike 3. Hover goes down looking. 1-2-3 inning from Jared Poland just after he was on base. The Braves 3 outs away, but the opportunity first to add a little insurance on this lead. We'll be back here with the 7, 8, 9 spots due up in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Braves on top of Hyannis, 4-2 here from the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. 7, 8, 9 spots due up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Braves with a 4-2 lead over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. An opportunity right now to pad the lead a little bit with some insurance runs. Patrick Fredrickson still on the mound for Hyannis. He'll be facing Cade Beloso, Kyler Fedko, and Brendan Rivoli here in this home half of the 6th. The first pitch to Beloso is in the zone, and Sam, this is a real opportunity for Cade Beloso to break out of this slump.
I was just going to say that in a pitcher against, I like Patrick Fredrickson, who's given up in his 8 games. He's given up at least 1 run in 7 games.
0-1, however, is swung on and missed on the fastball high from Beloso. Now he trails in the count here, 0-2. He's 0-4-2 in today's game. A strikeout in the 2nd and a ground out in the 4th. The 0-2 delivery popped up. This will be playable on the infield. Jackson Olsen gets his first bit of work today. He makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, Beloso's just in one of those ruts, right in the now entering the back half of the season where he's just not swinging the bat well. And he got under that pitch. He fell behind in the count 0-2 to Fredrickson and got under his 0-2 pitch. Beloso goes down, but he's really got to find a solution sometime quick.
Here's Kyler Fedko now. He's also searching for a solution here. 0-2 in today's game. Looks at the first pitch that finds the zone on the fastball for strike 1. Fedko, like Beloso, 0-2 with a strikeout and then a ground out. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, and that's in the zone. Fedko didn't like the call from Mark Delaney behind the plate. He falls behind 0-2. There is an arm getting loose right now in the bullpen, and it looks to be Kieran Shaw, I believe, who would be coming into a save situation. Here's the 0-2. Another breaking ball. Fedko initially fooled by it, did well to fight it off, and count will remain at 0-2.
Yeah, he's lucky he got contact on it. He made a late decision to swing on a beautiful breaking ball from Fredrickson. Just got contact on it, remains in the at-bat.
Fredrickson shakes off a sign now, steps, kicks, and fires the 0-2. Chopped over to the right side. The first baseman Fairs got it. He flips to the pitcher Fredrickson, covering first base, and it's a quick out number 2 to Kyler Fedko.
That was a well-coordinated play. Sometimes those plays over at first can get tricky, but Ian Fair gloved it, and right away Patrick Fredrickson knew to go cover first, and he was there in time. A well-executed play by the Harbor Hawks on a play that can get tricky often.
And it's very, very easy for the pitcher to become a spectator in those types of plays before you realize that, oh, I'm supposed to go cover the base. Here's Brendan Rivoli. He looks at a first pitch that bounces in the dirt for ball 1. Rivoli 1-for-2 in today's game. Singled back in the 5th. Led off that 5th inning with that single. And also flew out to Hunter Goodman back in the 2nd inning. 1-0 almost hits him inside. Misses the zone. 2-0 now the count to the newly minted catcher. Pitch to Rivoli, misses the zone low. 3 straight balls, and now we will see him leave the bat on the shoulder on this 3-0 count.
Well, after doing great finding the zone the first 2 batters, Fredrickson is struggling through the first 3 pitches on Rivoli.
3-0 pitch, misses the zone outside, so Rivoli will take it. It's a 4-pitch walk. He finds himself on base for the 2nd time today, and it's back up to the top of the order here with Cody Morissette.
And this is some time for the Braves to add on a little bit of extra padding on that 4-2 lead. The Braves scored their first run with 2 outs and their 3rd and 4th runs with 2 outs in the last inning. So you got some 2-out life with a walk on Rivoli back to the top of the lineup, and Morissette, who's gotten on twice.
Yeah, Morissette's a pair of runs scored. First pitch to him is a strike at the knees. Doubled and scored in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd, and then got on with the fielder's choice in the 5th and came around to score on the RBI single from Jimmy Glowacki. Fredrickson comes set, hand beat at the belt, flips and throws to first base, and the runner Rivoli is back in on his feet. Kieran Shaw, the closer, warming up right now for the Braves. 3 saves on the year. The 0-1 now coming to Morissette. Misses the zone low. Count now at a ball and a strike to the leadoff man. The Braves with runs in the 4th and the 5th, which make the difference here in this game. 1-1 to Morissette, flown out into center field. Teodosio moving back on it. He's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So the Braves in the bottom of the 6th failed to add any insurance runs. Nobody scoring off no hits, and 1 left on base. Kieran Shaw comes in to try and save the game for the Braves. They're up 4-2 here as we enter the top of the 7th inning. We'll be back on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Top of the 7th inning, and the Braves are 3 outs away from picking up the first game of today's doubleheader against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Jared Poland does his job in his 1-inning pitch. He throws that inning 1-2-3, striking out 2 batters. Now here's the closer for this team here, Sam, and Kieran Shaw.
The righty from Harvard, Kieran Shaw, now pitching in his 13th game on the season. He's 1-0, has a 1.54 ERA and 11 2/3 innings pitched. He's only allowed 6 hits throughout the entire season, 3 runs, 2 of them being earned, 14 strikeouts, just 2 walks, and he's in line to try and pick up his 4th save of the year. The last game he played in was Catuit a few games ago. He went 1 inning there, no hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts. He only faced 3 batters in that game against the Kettleers, so he comes up and tries to get his 4th save of the season against the Harbor Hawks, and the Braves having a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, prior to that Catuit's game where he threw that inning, he had at one point come in for 3 straight appearances and picked up 3 saves from the time span of July 10th to July 15th. All 3 appearances ended in a save. Now he faces a pinch hitter here. Due up originally was Brooks Carlson, and it'll be Jared DeSantolo for Hyannis. Trying to do anything to get back into this game. DeSantolo out of Florida Atlantic University, batting .311 so far this season with Hyannis. Comes in against the righty Shaw. Here's the first pitch to the lefty DeSantolo, and it's in the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, DeSantolo, an all-star for the West team. He went 0 for 1, but walked, came around to score a run, and also had a strikeout as well in the all-star game on Sunday.
Big swing and a miss there from DeSantolo. Count now at a ball and a strike. Last game played for DeSantolo was the 22nd against Orleans. In that game, he went 1 for 3. He's also hit by a pitch in that game as well. His OBP is over 400 for this team. It's the 1-1 pitch fouled off into the screen, and he falls behind here at 1-2.
If he can get on base, you bring the tying run to the plate, and Hyannis is not out of this game yet, especially we know their lineup is good. It gets overlooked because of their record, but their lineup has been really good this year.
Pitch is swung on and missed. It's in the dirt, so Rivoli will have to make the throw to first base. He does so to Nick Bruiser, who's just come into this game, and Kieran Shaw with the first batter and a first strikeout. Every single pitcher for this Braves team, when they've come in today, their first batter has ended in a strikeout.
Yeah, and Kieran Shaw keeps the trend going. A ball that was in the dirt, DeSantelo reaches for it. Kieran Shaw gets his first strikeout in the first batter that he faces.
Now here's Chad McDaniel for Hyannis. First pitch to McDaniel bounces before the plate for ball one. So Bruiser comes into the game at first base. Ending Beloso's day. Disappointing one for him. 1-0 has popped up foul. Out of play. Count now at a ball and a strike.
And you had to think the Braves' chances at least getting one win against Hyannis in this doubleheader would be a little better. They got swept in the first doubleheader earlier in the season, but the Braves are home. They play a lot better at home, and it's going their way.
Another pitch swung on and missed. Now 2 strikes to Chad McDaniel. Braves 2 outs away here from picking up their first win in over a week. Last win came against YD back on last Wednesday. 1-2 pitch is called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. How about that? Back-to-back strikeouts for Kieran Shaw, and the Braves 1 out away.
And that was a tough pitch to get. It was on the outside part of the plate. It wouldn't have been good contact for McDaniel anyway, but he lays off, and it's already second strikeout in 2 batters for Kieran Shaw. Hyannis down to their last chance.
And their last chance is Lucas Dunn, who's 0 for 2 in this game. He's reached base with a fielder's choice. Grounded out to Jimmy Glowacki back in the 4th inning. First pitch to him just missed the zone for ball 1. Braves trying to pick up their 14th win of the season. Here's the 1-0, and it's fouled straight back into the screen. Kieran Shaw out of Harvard. What an impression he's made on this baseball team. Here's the 1-1. It's in the dirt. Count now at 2-1. If Shaw is able to hold on and get this last out, he will join the 3rd place spot in the league in terms of saves. Right now, Zach Brisky for Falmouth leads it at 6, and Trey Dollard for YD at 2nd with 5 saves. 2-1 is a fastball way up and in. Count now 3-1 to the second baseman, Lucas Dunn.
Well, he's got to get out of this one first, and Dunn gets on. That's the tying run coming back to the plate, so Shaw still has to focus.
3-1 pitch, flown out into right field, slicing foul, and this will land on the other side of the fence. The count fills up to Lucas Dunn. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
And put the pressure back on Dunn. 3-2. He'll see the best that Kieran Shaw has to offer. Shaw's got a ton of pitches. His fastball has been nasty this year. Tough to catch up to, so we'll see what Shaw gives him. 3-2.
The Braves 1 strike away from picking up their first win since last Wednesday, looking to pick up win number 14. Here's the payoff pitch from Kieran Shaw, and it's fouled off by Lucas Dunn out of play over by the Hyannis dugout. We'll do it again here at 3-2. Braves trying to put even more separation between them and Hyannis as the season comes to an end. The Braves looking to officially lock up that 4th spot. Another payoff pitch from Shaw, and it's fouled off again by Lucas Dunn, who's putting up a fight here.
Yeah, give credit to Dunn. He's the last chance Hyannis has for a victory, and he's putting up a fight on Shaw. Remains 3-2. He's fouled off 2 really good pitches from the righty, so we'll see what happens on the 3rd 3-2 pitch.
The bullpen clapping along. Here's a 3-2 from Shaw, and once again fouled off by Lucas Dunn over the Hyannis dugout. He's doing a nice job staying alive.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to get him inside, and Dunn keeps fouling it off on the right field side. Looks like he's jammed a little bit, but Shaw will have to do it again.
Shaw working from the windup. He's looking in, Dunn digging in. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's in the dirt for ball 4. The tying run now comes to the plate. Lucas Dunn works a great at-bat as he jogs down the first with a walk.
Yeah, this one's still a game. You bring the tying run coming to the plate in Jackson Olsen, and Olsen is 0 for 2, grounded out into a double play and struck out. But he's coming up, runner on first, only has 2 doubles. Those are his only extra bases on the year, 6 RBIs, but this is a big moment. Shaw's not out of this one yet.
And Hyannis needs a hero right now, and it could be Jackson Olsen. 2 outs here, top of the 7th inning. We're only playing 7 because of the doubleheader today. First pitch to Olsen. Grounded up the middle. This will get through into center field for a base hit. Advancing to third base is going to be Lucas Dunn. He's there without a play. Runners now on the corners, and this game continues to get interesting.
And this gets a little more interesting with runners now at the corners. The tying run is at first, and it looks like Chad Gassman is going to bring in a pinch hitter. Teodosio is walking back toward the dugout. And Shaw, that's how big that walk was. You give up a walk, put a runner on base, and on the very first pitch, Olsen grounds it out right up toward the middle.
And it looks like it will be Rigsby Mosley to come in and pinch hit here. Mosley out of Troy University. He's batting .227 on the year. Last game for Orleans, he batted 1 for 5, and now he's got an opportunity here to really come up in a big spot. Runners on first and third as Brendan Rivoli will signal the first and third sign. And what you have to be careful here is if the runner from first base, Olsen, trying to take third, or trying to take second, I should say. Seen a lot of first and third steals so far this season for both teams. Olsen with a couple-step lead over there at first base. 2 outs here, top of the 7th inning. 4-2 ball game. First pitch from Shaw's called a strike on the outside corner, and that's in a very important first pitch strike.
Yeah, and you can definitely see Olsen possibly taking second. They've already stolen twice on Rivoli. There's no doubt that Gassman would try and do it again and get that tying run in better position to score.
Shaw sets, hands me in front of the letters. The 0-1 popped up foul. Out of play over toward Upper Cape High School, and now the Braves, once again, 1 strike away from picking up the win.
Yeah, this is where Shaw's at his best. He's in full control of this at-bat, has an 0-2 lead on Mosley, and is looking to shut this game down.
He steps in the mound. Looks in and gets a sign from Brendan Rivoli. The Braves up 4-2 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Mosley, and it's fouled up right in front of us. Count once again will remain at 0-2.
And Mosley, in 75 at-bats, has struck out 14 times. Only has 7 RBIs on the year, a double, a triple, and a home run.
Runners on the corners here. 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Shaw. Almost hits him. Curveball that moves inside. Rivoli does well to corral it. 1-2 the count now to Mosley.
Well, he was maybe 2 or 3 inches off from loading up the bases, but Shaw gets away with one there. It's only a ball, but he's still in control. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Hyannis has done a nice job of battling back. Not gone down without a fight here on the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-2 from Shaw. Swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. Put a bow on it. The Braves pick up their 14th win of the season. Kieran Shaw made things interesting, but all 3 outs are strikeouts, and the Braves pick up the first game of this doubleheader.
Well, it got a little bit scary at the end. The tying run was over on first for the Harbor Hawks, but Kieran Shaw gets out of it. He strikes out 3 in the top half of the 7th, and the Braves, for the first time this season, get a win in the first game of a doubleheader.
And Sam, we talked about this in the open before this game, but just how big is it for this Braves team to pick up, if they go on to lose this second game, just how big is it for them to pick up at least one of these 2 games?
Yeah, well, at least you win 1, and that magic number is now down to 5. A win in the second game could lower that down to 1 to make the playoffs, but it gives your team a little extra boost heading into this second game. We haven't seen a doubleheader where the Braves have won the first game, so we don't know what to expect in game number 2 of this doubleheader, but it was a good win for the Braves. And what more can you say about Jimmy Glowinski? He comes up 3 times, knocks in 3 of the 4 runs for the Braves, and he was really the big highlight of this matchup.
Yes, he absolutely was. Let's quickly go over the final lines for both teams. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks dropped to 727-1 on the season, scoring 2 runs off 6 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on base. The Braves, however, advanced to 1420-1 on the year with 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error of their own, leaving 5 on base. Harrison Rakowski will pick up the win, advancing to 3-2 on the year, while Connor Ash picks up his 3rd loss of the season. He falls to 0-3. Kieran Shaw gets save number 4. He's a perfect 4 for 4 in those opportunities. And final game time is an even 2 hours. We'll take a 45-minute break, and we'll be back here for game 2 with Sam Wiederhaft on the call. I've been Jordan Palacio. Until then, the Braves pick up the first game in this doubleheader 4-2, and we'll be back in just about 45 minutes. Until then, goodbye, everybody.